Guys, I have found a Bitcoin fracture that I was looking for a really long time for, because I was sure I have seen Bitcoin behaving like this in the past. Today I have found it, and I'm going to show you what I expect is one of the scenarios that might be playing out here right now. Let's go. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in here again. Before we are jumping in today's stream, guys, obliterate the like button. Let me see how many people are here right now. I see 37. It takes always a couple of seconds before I see who's really here. But guys, everybody that's here, smash up the like button. I want that more people are able to see the stream. It's only going to happen if YouTube understands that you actually like the stream. So without any further ado, let's jump first of all into the CME chart. We have closed yesterday CME above $101,580, which is definitely a bullish sign for Bitcoin. Now, the Bitcoin price on spot while CME is closed is trading around $99,500. So we have here a $2,000 CME gap if we keep ranging around the $99,000 level until tomorrow evening. So that would be for us a really good sign that we get another attempt here to break $100,000 with potential continuation. But I don't want to lie to you guys, you know. So we have here a higher high, we have here a lower high. Could also be that we just roll over and do something like this, you know. So with CME, you never really know how this is going to play out. But usually when you have in a bull market a CME gap and you close, and you open below a closing price, price goes up afterwards with continuation. So I don't have a lot of time today. That's why I'm going to show you immediately the fracture that I have found that I was looking for. And that is this one here. Bitcoin, around psychological levels, I have mentioned that multiple times already. When Bitcoin gets and moves into psychological levels, you get a lot of volatility around these psychological levels. So for an example, which is resembling the most, in my opinion, the current price action, was the first attempt to break $1,000 7 years ago. You see here, we were coming parabolic into this move. We broke above $1,000, moved into $1,140 roughly, then got a big shakeout wick. So here, look at this move. There was a massive move to the downside. Look at this here. So that was a 34% move to the downside. Then we turned around, came up again, got a smaller flush. Then we broke another retest, and then we shot back up to the upside. And this initial break here with the first retest, this phase took 44 days. Now here, again in 2017, a couple months later, we broke $10,000. Here, you see that this was only 3 days. You know, 3 days of some, technically 4 days below that level consolidation. Then we continue to move upwards into the all-time high of almost $20,000. So what are we seeing right now? We see here right now a 16 days consolidation period below the $100,000 level, where we were not able yet to close a candle above the $100,000 mark. I believe once we put in 1 or 2 daily candles above the $100,000 mark, that we might not get another flush, just send to the upside, and then at some point get something like this here, retest the $100,000 mark, and then just continue to go into higher prices. So based on this fracture, that is a valid scenario right now. I found this morning while I was searching the charts, and a consolidation phase under such a strong level, not always, but usually when you see something like this, especially here with lower highs along that level, see here already what I'm getting to here in that 16 days period. We are putting in an ascending triangle on the daily chart that might break out soon here. It might. So if we are not getting rejected from here and do something like this and get another fake out, then this should break by Wednesday next week. So if we are not breaking to the upside by Wednesday next week, guys, and go a little bit higher before we get the flush, you know the flush is around the corner if we are not above $100,000 by Wednesday. I don't believe that Bitcoin has any more time here to move higher, basically after Wednesday. Because then we are running into the end of that ascending triangle. And I can tell you the same way that I told you with the shorter term ascending triangle, where I said I don't like where it broke out to the upside because it usually turns around. This is the same thing with this ascending triangle here. If it's too late, it also usually goes against the grain. So, and in that case, what could happen is that when we are getting here into Thursday, that we come up, might even not go higher than here $104,000, and then you see something like this. So it has to happen latest by Wednesday, guys. So if this fractal here right now is supposed to play out, then at least here, that ascending, let me put it this way, if this ascending triangle is going to play out, it has to happen latest by Wednesday. Otherwise, you get most likely something that looks like this here, where we come up, first go down, come up, come down again, come up, come down again, and then we go to the upside. Same way that it looks here. So that's something where we need right now pay attention to. And when we are getting into the weekly chart, here also, if the weekly candle is able to close above $100,000, here you see already the next level that I'm eyeing at on the Fibonacci extension levels. The next level that I'm looking at is all the way up here, $114,000 approximately, and that we could move here a little bit higher. But around this level, I would get really careful with my Bitcoin short-term positions and also with my altcoins positions, because we need a proper pullback when we go up in a straight line like this. You know, so you see how parabolic Bitcoin is going up. I said this many times, we need these small flushes in a bull run of 10-20%. So, and the only thing that's changing here, if we get all the way up there, is that the flush might be not coming down anymore into this golden ratio. It's still a probability that it happens, because look here, even from there, this is a 25% move, or here 21.5% move, you know, so we could still come down here, but the $100,000 level should act as a short-term support on the way to the downside if we're getting the flush all the way up from here. So the only thing that happens is that the flush just gets delayed a little bit if we break not to the upside by maybe 7 to 10 days. Max in my opinion. 7 to 10 days delayed if we get here a move first into $114,000. So, but the good thing is, in the next, 4.5 days, we're actually going to find out in which direction we are really going here. Then on the shorter time frames, also here on the 1 hourly time frame, I have now put in here a dashed line that you can do the same, you know, so you see here way better when we actually break above $100,000 again. We also have created a downward sloping resistance line from the all-time high here, from the $104,700 mark. Once we break above $100,000 and break this downward sloping trend line, there I believe you're going to see also the break of the ascending triangle and get that move here past $110,000 in the next coming days. So that is something that I'm watching closely right now, while Bitcoin is consolidating below $100,000. So you can also see the trading range that we are in here for this weekend. So here, this is the trading range that we are currently in. You can actually put us a little bit lower if you wanted to, all the way down here. So this is your trading range. Let me actually make this a line. You see a little bit better. So this is currently the range that Bitcoin is trading in and chopping around over the weekend. So that is from $98,000, what is this, $700 to $99,600. That's where we are currently trading in. So if we get a break above that, we get continuation. If we come down here, close a 4-hourly candle with a retest, then most likely we start here a proper flush to the downside. Because remember, these wicks to the up and to the downside usually are getting filled. So if we would get another move here to $90,500, it would be just a move into the golden ratio that I have just shown you on the other chart. And something else that you need to understand here, that flush, when we came down here, a lot of people opened and bought Bitcoin on the way back up. So what do you think where their stop loss is right now? They believe that the stop loss somewhere around here, or actually exact the level from where we bounce back to the upside, that is a safe place for your stop loss or for your liquidation price. So what market makers like to do when price comes down, they just drive it a little bit lower. They drive it a little bit lower so that everybody gets flushed out again, and then you get a V-shaped recovery, and they send it straight back up. So just some food for thought here. I'm still really, really cautious in the market right now, even though I have deployed a little bit more capital, but I'm still cautious. So long term, I'm still waiting for this flush to be happening because I know it's going to come. It came every single time when we broke an all-time high. If it gets a little bit later, it doesn't matter because I know it's going to come. It's like clockwork, So maybe the train is a little bit late, but the train is coming, guys. So also here on the 12-hourly chart, here, the current 12-hourly candle, I start to not like that one a lot because if we move here a little bit lower, let's say we move below $98,000, then we have here another small topping and reversal pattern that we are printing, which is an evening star pattern. And that could lead, if we lose here now, this downward sloping support that was prior resistance, it could also lead to a smaller flush here first to the downside. So actually, no, not all the way down here immediately, but like something like this, and then comes up here a little bit, and then you get later in that week, that move here below that. So currently in the 12-hourly chart gets supported from the cluster here on the VPVR. But yeah, once we're losing here, yeah, this is the level, 97,000, what is this? $97,800. $97,800 on the VPVR. I will have here really, yeah. So I actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I put an alert there. I want to know when this is going to happen. $97,800. No, $98,700. So that is where I want to have this $800 breakdown. So you see, guys, I use also from time to time alerts for stuff like that to understand where I need to pay more attention to not only Bitcoin but to the market overall once we are getting under some levels like this. Because when you go here to the left, this should act as support, from all these candles here that have priorly touched this level, and this level was acting as resistance, So if we're not bouncing from this on the shorter time frames, we can briefly go below that. That's fine, So, but I don't want a 12-hourly candle closing below this. I don't want to see that, So if we close a 12-hourly candle below this, it will be bearish, guys. It will be bearish. Now, on the let me see here, on this 1 hourly time frame, there was nothing that I want to talk about. So, but here we need to talk about this. On the MDX algo gradients, also here, not really happy with what I'm seeing on the scalp gradients, because we are not out of the woods here with these two take profit signals and the sell signal. The candles starting to cool down here a little bit again. And when candles are cooling down, that means price is coming down. So, and this is right now not what I want to see. I want here over the next 24 hours, price heating up again and getting brighter candles. So if over the next 24 hours, also here, candles start to print colder colors again, and the reactor indicator start to turn down, another warning sign, guys. There will be another warning sign that we might not get the breakout out of the ascending triangle. So, and I'm also going to show you here in a second what will happen to altcoins in that moment, because I can tell you some altcoins, they will go down a lot, others not so much. I'm exactly showing you which altcoins I believe are going to hold quite well and which ones are not, and which ones for spot or for super, super low leverage might be really, really good entries right now under certain circumstances. So, but I'm going to show you that here just in a minute once we talked about liquidity. So here on ZoomX, again, my Solana trade is still running. I will place here also more limit orders once I have more clarity how Bitcoin is looking, because I still have here $215,000 that I need to put somewhere, you know. So I want, when this flush is happening, to be fully allocated, or if Bitcoin breaks out of that ascending triangle, then I want to market buy, you know. So I might split this 50-50, you know. So I put $100,000 in limit orders. I'm gonna leave another $100,000 on the side to see what's going to happen. And again, if that flush is more severe than what I expect, then I actually also going to cancel some limit orders to get my money back and wait for lower levels. That's what I'm actually going to do then. Again, if you want to trade with me together on ZoomX, there is a link in the description, guys. I have a new deal coming up with ZoomX. Remember, I said to you guys that I was speaking with ZoomX with my manager. I had another call with my manager today. There's something really, really nice coming up for you guys, so you want to make sure that you sign up on ZoomX, and don't forget, no KYC in ZoomX. If you're in Germany, France, UK, US, Canada, where you cannot use Bybit, use ZoomX, guys. And I really love the guys, and I'm working more and more really, really close with them, and you're gonna see next year a lot from me and ZoomX. Now on the liquidation levels here, a first imminent target to the downside. Look here, where we have 50x long positions sitting, exactly at that level that I just spoke about, $97,000, $700, $800. There we have over leveraged long liquidity, and also here at $98,400. So this might be taken out, and then I want to see how price is reacting, you know. So if it just comes back, just grab this liquidity and continues to come back to the price where it was before, or if it will actually move below it, you know. So another early warning sign, guys, you know. So if you see price moving below this liquidation level here, and you get a 4-hourly candle close below that, and the next one starts pushing lower, big, big, big warning sign, guys. Really big warning sign that we potentially start filling this wick here to the downside. So if it turns around, everything cool, you know. So it only needs to come back to $98,400, hold this level. If we go here all the way down here and do something like this, you know, close candle here, fine, you know, continuation, taking the high leverage liquidity on the short side. So otherwise, you know, once we're losing this, the elevator goes down. On the liquidation heat map, so now I need 48 hours to see what's going to happen here. Here, another indication that we might get that flush. Again, $97,800, $400. There's right now the highest concentration of liquidity to the downside. So here's currently sitting almost $80 million. That's a lot for the last 24 hours. And if we move above $100,000, the biggest area, interest area would be here, $102,470, where we have 62 million approximately currently sitting. So here I can tell you we will get, don't zoom in here, we will get to either side, depending on what we are touching first, acceleration, either to the upside or to the downside. So if we break here above $100,000, $100,600, yes, we're going to get acceleration to the upside. If we break here below 98,000, here, look again, exactly what I said, you know, so $98,500, $98,300, we get acceleration to the downside into the area all the way down here. If you, again, look for liquidity, guys, so that you can actually leverage the money that you have without putting more money down, get your free airdrop position on Bybit. You only need $100 to claim that position. You open an account with the link in the description. deposit the $100, claim the airdrop voucher and the rewards hub, use the voucher, all the profits belong to you, and you can trade any of these coins that I mentioned here. Again, guys, this is running out in 12 days, guys. You have only 12 days to get this position, then it's gone. And I have still trades running here on Bybit, just that you see. I opened today a Coty trade, a small one, as you can see. Okay, it's actually not that small one. But my liquidation price, look at my liquidation price, so I will not get liquidated on this. So that's why I let this run. The same here with AVAX. I'm going to speak about AVAX, so I think AVAX has potentially a move here in the next coming hours. My Fantom trade is in a small profit, and my TIA trade was actually this morning in profit, now a little bit in a loss, but also TIA, I believe, has still some legs here to go a little bit higher. So, and here, actually this morning I was almost over the $200,000 mark here. Remember, guys, this account was only 2 months ago at $2,000 something. In 2 months I managed to trade this into $200,000. Once we get the flush, the next goal is $1 million before March. That's my target. Before March, I want that this account sits at close or over $1 million. And now the Bitcoin dominance is today moving to the downside, while Bitcoin is going sideways. That's, of course, something that we like to see. Here, once we break below the 55.12% level, we should get another move closer to 54.26%. But here, again, guys, really, really careful what's going to happen down here. Because this move here, this did not go away, guys. So this did not go away. It can be that it will look something like this. So that we actually got here the first leg, so here in this. Now we're going to do something like this. So right here, that might be then higher. And we get here a harsher reaction, so because we cannot go up in a straight line, guys, especially for the people that are new in this bull run. Price cannot go up in a straight line. You need to have pullbacks. Pullbacks are healthy to get the fuel that we need to continue to go higher. Imagine if you would climb the Mount Everest, you would not have oxygen with you above, what level is that from where they start using oxygen supply? I think 20,000 feet, or something like that, or 15,000 feet. Once the air gets so thin that you need oxygen to keep climbing to the top, So you need to rest on the way to the upside so that you actually make it to the top, So and it's here the same thing. We need to have these small breaks where we get corrections that we can make it into the next higher level. So and with altcoins, it's the same thing. We have many altcoins that went now straight up in one line without any major breaks and pauses where we pulled back to get the rest that we need to continue to go higher. So at some point, a lot of people will get a really, really bad awakening when maybe for some of you it will happen overnight while you are sleeping, So and you wake up and you look at your portfolio and maybe you are wiped out, maybe you are at minus 80%. So maybe your house is gone. I don't know what you guys are doing, So maybe you pawned your house to get liquidity, which I definitely not recommend if you put it on leverage, On spot, it might be kind of okay, right? If you do it right now, but on leverage, I would not do that. So and you don't want this to happen, So the thing is, if you can prevent this, so you don't want this to happen to you, So and that's why I'm preaching all the time that we need to be careful here, So just because the dominance keeps breaking down and the altcoins give you the impression that we'll just keep going up, So and you get more euphoric, it does not mean that you will not get a really, really violent bounce of the dominance at some point that will most likely wipe out a lot of people here, and they will not recover from this, So and I just don't want that this is going to happen to you guys, I want that you can go all the way with me together to the top, and that we party all together when we are there, and not that I have a graveyard behind me, and I'm standing on the top because you left the oxygen in the base camp, So there, I just don't want that. Now with the total free market cap here, if we are getting also here over the next couple of days, a break of these highs here of $1.14 trillion. Also here, continuation might be in the cards. And I will be honest, guys, the total free market cap looks like one of these altcoins that is just going up in a straight line. You know, okay, we got here some pullbacks, but look here over the last couple of weeks. You know, so here, how many weeks did we have not a pullback before we got these two candles here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks. The total free market cap was increasing 7 weeks, technically 8 weeks with that top here, 8 weeks before it started to pull back, you know. So, and now it looks like it is ramping up again to run, you know. So this is not how a bull market works, guys, you know. So a bull market, if you want here continuation, usually what happens is you get some consolidation so that we form here some support, and then you get the next move to the downside, but not here, maybe one candle down, the next one up again, and then it keeps running like this, you know, on a daily chart, you know. So on a daily chart, this is not how this works. So that's why watch here that level, $114 trillion. If we break it, you get another leg to the upside, and then most likely it's going to turn around here at some point. If it starts, or let me put it this way, if we're not breaking above this, and it starts breaking here $109 trillion, again, that's where you need to pay attention. If we're getting here now ugly moves back into the $1 trillion level, $983 billion level, from where we then consolidate and get that move. Because the first major level of support is unfortunately down here. That's the level. That is the major level of support for the total free market cap. So, which makes it highly likely that we are coming down here. Even if we just wick down here, it doesn't matter. We are going to touch it at some point, and then you get a new all-time high in total free market cap. Now with Ethereum is running here into major resistance right now. So I could draw here another line on this daily chart all the way up here. So here, look which level it touched. You know, it touched here $4,096. So where does this resistance come from? From the last top, local top, I must say, from the last local top from March. So again, for me, that was quite obvious that we are not straight breaking through this. And here you see also that Ethereum is currently struggling to hold above the lower high. You know, so because we are putting in here a potential topping candle on the daily chart, if tomorrow we break below 3,000, yeah, let it be the $4,000 level, you know, so yeah, no, 3,970, okay, 3,970. If we break below 3,970, highly likely that this is again a local top, and that Ethereum needs to come down here at least to $3,700, maybe even touching the EMA ribbon before we get continuation, you know. So if we break $4,100, okay, everything is fine. We get this next leg to the upside all the way up here to $4,382, which is roughly another 8% move that we are getting. But here, guys, up here, there is major resistance. And I think that was not the all-time high yet. Let's see on the weekly chart. No, it was not the all-time high yet. So, but there is major resistance. There, from there, you're gonna get that that pullback, you know. So because when you look at the indicators, we are running out of steam here. And like I said, you know, so we need to get a break where everything starts to move like this and the indicators come all down on the higher time frames, and then it's fine. Then we send back to the upside, you know. So the Ethereum Bitcoin chart is also running here now into this upward sloping resistance of that symmetrical triangle that we had, and I mentioned it to you guys before, that when we come into this, I'm not expecting that we're immediately smashing through this. So even if it's going to happen next week, I think it will be briefly, and then we come up here, and it will pull back below it, and then maybe the following week, we break back into it and get the continuation to the upside. So, but here is also right now major resistance. So look here at this line, you know, we could not even touch it, and pulled already back, you know, a little bit earlier from there. When we look at Solana, Solana might be one of the coins that will run against the grain when Bitcoin goes down. Because Solana on the daily chart has already completely reset and is ready here in the over the next couple of days to put in another leg to the upside, in my opinion. So on the weekly chart, here also, the RSI is already turning around. The stochastic can be a little bit ignored, but the RSI is really important. So, and when you see the RSI on a weekly chart pulling down and then turning around again, that means usually for that specific coin, the pullback has already happened in a bull market. Regardless of what the rest of the market does, most of the time it means on a weekly time frame, this coin is done with its pullback. So, and also the next sign here for Solana, with the current doji candle that we have here on the weekly chart, the next confirmation for that will be when we start on Monday, the weekly candle, and go above $247 and close 2 or 3 daily candles above that level. So that will be the confirmation that we get another attempt here. First of all, into $260. And if we get above that, then we move here into $300. And from there, I then again expect some turnaround where we come a little bit lower in that pullback and get then also continuation past $300, because I believe the $300 mark will be a psychological resistance for Solana, like other round numbers for Bitcoin. You know, the coin doesn't matter if they approach psychological numbers that are round 5, 10, 100, 200, 300, 500, 1,000, 2,000, 10,000, $100,000. You usually see price struggling around these levels, because you have to understand, in a bull market, people like to own many coins. You know, so they are not so focused on no, it's actually wrong. So they rather have 1 million tokens worth 10 cents than 2 tokens that are worth $50,000, because they think, oh, I have so little of this. You know, it's worth so much, but I have so little of it. They rather have some. They rather have like 1 million tokens worth 10 cents each, and think, oh, this can maybe go to $1. You know, so if this goes to $1, I'm a millionaire. You know, so they don't think about that these 2 tokens that they have, you know, that they maybe go to $500,000. They don't care about this. You know, they say, hey, there's so much more upside in my 10-cent thing than in that $50,000 thing, you know, so, and that's how they're thinking, you know, so, and that's why when we approach these big round numbers, some people, they just sell out, you know, they're like, I don't think it goes much higher than that, you know, so, and they don't know any TA, they're not following what the market is actually doing or what the market cycles are doing, you know, they just bought it in the last run, and they're like, hey, I bought this thing when FTX crashed at $15, you know, I'm up 20x, I'm out at $300. So that's how they are looking at this. So here, again, on the shorter time frames for hourly, you see here why I'm saying $247 once we get above there. Here is resistance. We are consolidating below that resistance currently, but also the 4-hourly chart is setting up for a move here to the upside. Again, once that level is broken, you're gonna get here nice acceleration into the golden ratio, at least into the golden ratio. Then some of the other coins that I want to talk about. So Telegram might be one of the coins that's also moving here in the short term. The MACD is setting up bullish. The stochastic is going up. Only the RSI goes here a little bit sideways, again, because we are facing here some resistance at $6.93. We are a percent below that level currently. Let me actually see here. But so here you see now, on the 15 minutes chart, we are setting up for a bullish turnaround. So the only thing that you need to watch here for TON to break above $6.93 is that the RSI turns around. When the RSI turns around, you're gonna see that Telegram will be really quick above $7. So, and again, when we get above $7, we most likely go all the way up to $7.26, or even all the way up into that resistance here. And how things are looking currently, I would also expect that this is the level from where we start to pull back, if Bitcoin pulls back at the same time. So that might be the major resistance level from where we pull back and then get continuation. Here on DYDX, something that I wanted to show you on DYDX, guys, when you go to a weekly chart, this might be actually good right now to buy this on spot, or if you want to open here leverage trade, guys, you have to be really careful, guys. You know, I just want to mention it again. You know, if the flush is coming, I don't want you to get wiped out here. I want that you survive this. So, and how I would play this, if I want to play this on leverage for the next leg to the upside on DYDX, not more than 2x. It doesn't sound like a lot, guys, but you can withstand a 50% move to the downside. I'm not expecting that DYDX will come down 50%, but there is no major support until the 0.5 level here. So, and from current prices to 0.5, you see here that is a 26% move to the downside. So I want you to survive that, if that's actually the case, that it would move that low here, because it is at a big resistance. If we can close above $2.44 today and tomorrow, chances are that we are also getting here first acceleration into $3 before this is turning around. So, and I want you to take advantage of that, because if we go into $3, now you are starting to get in at $2, let it be $2.50, you know, $2.50. Now DYDX moves up 20%. If you get a 20-30% pullback, you're a little bit underwater from your entry price, but you are laughing. You know, you are sitting on the sideline laughing. You're like, hey, this was not so bad. You know, I round tripped for like 3 days. You know, and now we go back to the upside. So, but that's why I'm saying, you know, so if it goes down first, you don't want to be too over leveraged here, because what's coming next? You know, what's coming next? Just that you understand, and you see here how quick we moved here to the upside. The next level that this is going to is most likely here $4.31. And afterwards, there you see there's a long time nothing. The next major resistance level is up here, $7.14. So almost a 3x from current price. You know, so even on spot, you know, if you buy spot today, it's fine. You know, it's absolutely fine, because you make 3x and you don't have to have sleepless nights over this, regardless if we are dropping or not, you know, because you know, hey, here are the levels, you know, so I can roll over regardless if it goes up, down in circuits, it doesn't matter, you know, because I know, okay, $7.14, that is a big level, and there I just get out when I made my almost 3x on that trade, you know, so, and even on 2x leverage, that is a 6x that I expect to happen before February. So 6x with the right amount, this is life-changing money again, guys, you know. So, and what I wanted to show you here is that when DYDX is moving, Sushi is moving. The same, look here how Sushi was moving actually today. Here, nice candle into that resistance of $2.06. And when Sushi is moving, also Uniswap is usually moving. That's why I gave you guys this morning the Uniswap trade that's a little bit underwater right now. Because when DYDX and Uni is moving, Sushi is also always moving, because they're all decentralized platforms where you can trade and buy crypto. So, and you see here, we're currently at the same resistance where DYDX is sitting. You know, so again here, also when Sushi is breaking this $2.06 level, it's going at least to $3.73. So honestly, this might be the better trade, because you have here the resistance at a higher level. So this is here 96% move to this level for a short-term trade, guys. I'm talking short-term, you know. So, but until February, let's see here. So definitely going here to $5, and then all the way up potentially here, also $7. So the problem with Sushi is Sushi moves after DYDX and Uni have moved, so you might have to wait a little bit longer for that move, you know. So, but what you could also do is you can just split, you know, across both DYDX or even across all three, you know, Uniswap, DYDX, and Sushi, and wait for that move in all of them, you know. So, like I said here, to $7, even from current prices, is 267%. There's 2.7x almost on your money, and like I said, I believe this is going to happen before March, sometime in February. So if we are getting rejected from that current resistance area that we are in, here on the daily chart, you see that red sell block that we are currently trading in. Here we could come back down to the next level of support, and the next level of support would be technically at $1.23, but this will only happen if Bitcoin flushes to the downside, you know. So otherwise, if we are holding here above $1.70 and Bitcoin breaks above $100,000, you get continuation also here but I would not say into $3, you know, so you're most likely going to stop here at $2.40 roughly, you know, so here in that area, that's where I see it stopping. Then Casper went here all the way up to 18 cents today. No, sorry, yeah, no, this was today, yes, that was the daily close, and yes, so the daily close. Now, here I expect that we keep consolidating in that range before we get the next leg to the upside. On the daily chart, we still have some room to go higher, but I don't like that doji candle from today. The only thing that I actually like about this is that we came back down into this downwards sloping multi-month resistance line and got immediately bought back to the upside once we dipped below that. So that's the only bullish thing about this candle right now. So, but I would expect that we potentially pull back here a little bit more and start to go sideways before we attack again 18 cents and break above this and go here in direction of the all-time high of 20 cents and 8. So if you're looking for a good entry on Casper and you want to have that pullback in mind, what I would do is I would open a small position if we come back down here into this level of 17 cents, 16 cents, 0.7, with a stop loss at 16 cents, 0.4 to make sure if this is turning around that you don't lose too much money. This is roughly 2-3% of a stop loss. And if we get that flush in the next coming days, still here around 15 cents, that green box, you know, we might even wick below that briefly, you know, that's why I say here like 15 cents, 15 all the way up to 16 cents. So from here, I would start layering my orders again, you know, so when I see this turning around, breaking below this downward sloping trend line, I would start setting up my limit orders really quick because you don't know when that flush is coming, you know, so it can happen directly after a candle closed here on Bitcoin, and then you see move to the downside. So you have to be on alert, you know, when that is happening. So then here for SUI, I don't see much upside here anymore unless we break $4.48. But also here, the highest that I see this going if Bitcoin breaks above $100,000 in the next coming days is here the 1.618, the Fibonacci extension level, $5.41. I also think that here it's going to stop in the short term because look how this went up here, you know. So the only good thing about SUI on the way up is that we had here some consolidation that will act as support once this is turning around, you know. So and then you get some consolidation again. We put in a lower high, higher low. So this here is a higher low. You know, you're going to put in here another higher low, and then you get continuation to the upside. So here on the pullback on SUI, slightly below $4. Most likely here into that golden ratio at the 0.618, around $3.91, $4. That would be a range where I would set up my limit orders. And if we are breaking $4.50 and have at least a 4-hourly candle close above that, we might go up first up here before we get that move back to the downside. Then AVAX. So here is the reason why I still have my AVAX trade, guys, because we are consolidating here for quite a while now below that downward sloping trend line. And it looks like that this is potentially going to break here really soon. Look here on the daily chart, you know. So the RSI, 1-hourly chart. RSI is slowly turning around. Stochastic is already pointing to the upside. MACD just flipped bullish. Let me zoom in here a little bit, that you can actually see that. Come on. So here, just about to turn bullish. So here we only need to get above here, $53, and close 1-hourly candle above this, and it starts sending to the upside, above the $60 mark. So I had here my take profit. Where did I have my take profit? $60, where? $65 in my opinion. That's where it's going to send to once it breaks that line. So here, a good short-term trade, guys, but you need that break of this downward sloping trend line, and you need to watch what's happening around the $54 mark, because that is also giving us resistance. But if you see here one hourly candle doing something like this, and the next keeps going higher, then you know. But you have to take the risk to get in a little bit earlier than that, and you can have a tight stop loss around the $50 mark. Around the $50 mark, maybe even a little bit higher if you want to. Here, $50, $55. There I would have my stop loss. just in case that this turns around. So, but I'm still holding this. I'm still going to hold this. If you want to trade AVAX on a decentralized platform, guys, where you still get $100 just for signing up and stand a chance to win $100 every single, if you deposit $100, you stand a chance to win twice per week, $500. Today I have no time to give $500 away. Unfortunately, I'm going to do it tomorrow, guys. They're going to give away $500 here on AlphaX. There's a link in the description for that. I actually canceled already my Fantom order in the short term that I had. You can see, no, it's still here. It did not cancel. Yes, because it locked me out. So before I could do that. So now it's canceled because I will start layering this, the amount that I have here now from the current price level into lower levels. So I'm going to talk about Fantom also here in a moment. So now Uni. So I know a lot of you guys go again crazy, you know, so again, it blows my mind, you know. Let me explain you guys something with trades that I give you guys in the Telegram chat. When I give you a trade, don't complain, don't go crazy, take it like a man. Right now, I have only pussies in the Telegram chat, you know, so no offense, but you act like pussies, you know, like, oh, it's going down, you know, it's going down 3%, you know, so I'm down like $500, you know. Guys, stop this, you know, it doesn't help anyone if you do stuff like that and scream, what's your entry price, what's your liquidation price, you know, did you get out, did you get in, you know, trust me, you make everybody only more crazy. If you behave like that, I can tell you already you're not making it this bull run, you know, because you're too emotional. What you need to understand is that your emotionality is to rub off on other people, and then everybody is running around like headless chicken, you know. So, and that's not how you should be trading, you know. So, what the right way to do that is, you know, so you set the trade, you know. So if I tell you, okay, remove the stop loss. You can do that, you cannot do that, it's up to you, you know. So I removed it for myself because here, currently, we see a small pullback on the 4-hourly chart, which is fine because there is still massive support before we actually get into the liquidation price, guys, you know. So look here on the 1-hourly chart, here, major support from where we got this whole move to the upside. And we did not even touch the 50 moving average. We're not below the 50 moving average here. That should also act as support, you know. So as long as we are standing here above $16.50, I'm not really concerned, you know. And here the indicators, they are already slightly turning around on the 1-hourly chart for the potential next attempt to break the $18.20 mark. You know, once that level is broken, you have here a W. And what is happening with a W? It goes higher, you know, it goes then into our take profit. So that's why I'm still holding this trade, you know. So, but don't stop going crazy about trades, you know. So we can, something else that you need to learn, guys, we can lose 5 trades in a row, guys, and then comes one trade that makes up for all of the trades that we have lost, you know. So that's how trading works, guys. Trading is a game of probability. So, and statistics. You only have to make sure that you win more than you lose. There will be always losses. It's inevitable. You know, you cannot prevent this. Otherwise, everybody would be rich in trading. You know, so everybody is losing at some point some trades. You know, so it's part of the game, guys, and that's why you should not go crazy about this. When a trade starts to first look good, then it starts to look bad again. You know, so and then it starts to look good again, you know, or it starts to look a little bit worse and then it starts to look good again, you know. So don't play this emotional roller coaster where you're like, hey, and then you're like, I'm going to kill you, and then hey, and then like, where do you live? I'm gonna burn down your house, you know, and then like, hey, you know. So don't be like this, guys, you know. Now with ICP, also on ICP, I still expect a move to the upside here, potentially in the short term, as long as we are holding the current level that we are in of $14, what is this, 88 to $14, $15.35, you know. So as long as we are staying in here on the shorter time frames, look at this here. Also here, nice consolidation within that range. You see the 1-hourly is already pointing to the upside. Once we break here, $15.33, good entry, guys. Good entry for a move here into potentially $18.20 in the short term. So on the 4-hourly chart, also here, you know, you see we were going sideways here while price was consolidating on the RSI. Here I just want to see in the next 2 hours that the stochastic is the MACD is printing a lighter red candle to show us that buyers are stepping in here. And that might then lead to that break here above and get us all the way up here into the 3.618. So if we're getting rejected from this level over here, from $14.43, we're going to get a pullback back to $14. If we lose $14, then the flush is going to happen and we are going all the way down here into at least into the golden ratio, maybe flush here in that order block, you know, so with a wick, and then we come back down, back up, and then it gets higher. Then Aptos. So I was actually trading Aptos this morning. So let me explain you why I closed the trade where I closed it, based on this 1 hourly chart here. You see that golden ratio up here. I knew this will act as resistance. So I got closed actually around the current price. That was my price where I got filled, but I had actually $15 something. I think $15.05 or something was my take profit. So, but it's fine. I had a big trade on that, you know. So there is some slippage in this. So now we have this downward sloping trend line. If we break this downward sloping trend line, you're going to get another attempt here into $15.33. Most likely it's going to break, goes a little bit higher than that. Is that already an all-time high? No, it's not. So if it goes above the golden ratio, it might move all the way up to $16.67 or $16.70, or even all the way up here to $19.50. So these are the next targets for Aptos on the shorter time frames. Here also on the daily chart, you see on the stochastic there is technically one more leg or two more legs to the upside before this has to come down. So, but if I would trade this with a tight stop loss, I would most likely get out here, actually up here, somewhere here, like $16.75, $17, somewhere in between there, I would get out. I would not risk to run here into that order block, into these sell orders. Yeah, I would just not risk that. So, but here might be a short-term trade unless we are getting rejected from that golden ratio. Then Coty is another trade that I have currently running. Also here, look at this. On the 1 hourly time frame, again, same thing. You know, we are consolidating here in that range, and I expect here another pop to the upside. So I'm in this trade since this morning. So see, do I complain about this, that I'm sitting in this since this morning, why this is roller coasting, you know, going from like $1,500 in profit back down to like $800 in minus? You don't hear me screaming about that, you know. So because I know it's normal, you know, we need this consolidation to break here 18 cents 0.4 to get here that move into my take profit level, you know. So my take profit level currently is around 19 cents. Where is my take profit? 19 cents. Yeah, 19 cents 08. So there's my take profit on Coty currently for that trade setup. So if we lose here 17 cents 6, you know, there again, most likely this is going to happen. Right now, this is not the case, you know, so I have no liquidation price on this. So I just sit this out because I believe over the next coming hours, this will get another shot here to the upside. Also here on the 4 hourly, we're turning around. Again, these are short-term trades, guys. You know, I'm not talking about long-term trades because for a long-term trade, I can tell you already, here, we need to break 19 cents, you know, so, and after 19 cents, 21 cents is the major resistance that we need to overcome to get a nice juicy 20, 30, maybe even 50% candle on the daily chart in Coty, you know, so something like this down here. See here, this one candle, this will happen again when we break 21 cents. So let me show it to you how big that was. So this one candle here, yeah, 43%, guys. That was a 43% candle. It's going to happen again when we break 21 cents. So, and that will bring us close to 25 cents then. No, actually higher, sorry, guys. So this will bring us really close to the next big order block here at the 30 cent level. So 30 cent, yes, so that will be the next target then. So that can happen in one candle, but I expect here then immediately a pullback, you know, when we touch 30 cents. So, but this is what I'm seeing here, unless we get a pullback first, all the way back down to around 14 cents. Then Fantom, you see Fantom struggles here already to break higher. Here's also resistance currently sitting. If we are managing to close the daily chart above $1.36, then you get here a shot all the way up to like, I think it's $1.60. But also here, from there, I expect that we are pulling back down. If we get from here a 30% pullback, it will get us back to like $1.10. So that's why I said yesterday, I'm moving up my orders that I have on Fantom, because once the pullback is coming, it will most likely not get back to 85 cents. You know, it's not going to happen. That's why I also start layering now my limit orders differently on AVAX for that scenario. So I will start now, when you look at this, let's say we are pulling back from here, just for argument's sake. I will start having limit orders starting from 90 cents all the way up to $1.16. So there I'm gonna layer now my limit orders in these levels. At Cardano, so guys, you potentially will not like that, you know. So, but Cardano looks like it's also wants to go here. You know, it looks like it wants to go now to the upside. So if we would have been a little bit more patient, you know, maybe tomorrow morning, you know, so potentially tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, if we are breaking this downward sloping trend line, it's going to hit the take profit point that we had, you know. So that's why you need to be sometimes a little bit patient with these trades, you know, even if they're roller coasting, you know, be patient, let the trade come to you and just wait until your take profit gets hit, you know. So because if we would have just waited, most likely by tomorrow, it's going to hit us. And now we are stuck in another trade and have to wait, you know, also there, we need to wait. So, but this is part of the journey, guys, you know, so sometimes mistakes like this are happening, you know, it's absolutely normal. But if you're still in Cardano and you did not see that we moved into another trade, I would currently hold this, you know, because when I go here to the 1 hourly chart, also here, you see momentum going to the upside on the MACD, stochastic going to the upside. We are just going sideways on the RSI because we are under resistance, but this is most likely going to pop. And then it goes straight into the take profit point that we originally had. So I'm gonna do one altcoin really quick. So INJ, let me do INJ. I did not talk about INJ for a long time, guys. Really long time. I don't even know if I have stuff on. Yeah, no, I have here some levels from the past. But how high? Okay, I stopped here at 32 cents. I need a weekly chart. Yeah, so here, that's why I had these two lines here. So I actually missed that entry on INJ, you know. So here, really, really good entry would have been INJ at 32 cents. Because if I would have longed that from here, I would be up 15% on 5x leverage. I would be up 80% now in that trade. But also here, it runs into resistance at the 40-cent mark. So here I might be 20% too late, 15%, I said, 15% too late. And to 40 cents, maybe 25% too late. But I know where INJ is going in this bull run. So INJ, in the next 2-3 months, almost 70 cents. So even if I get in at 40 cents, you know, so I still have here a 73% move to the upside. And if we are pulling back first, then we will come back down here and retest this as support and get here a 17% flush. And then I'm looking at over 100% to the upside. So then I'm looking here at 112%. So again, here, if we break above that level of 40 cents, I'm going to open a small position, just that I'm in it. If it's for some reason just starts going to the upside. But if it pulls back, then I have still money on the side exactly for that occasion where we pull back 20% and I'm going to buy here. And then I ride it to the upside, which will then average down my profit to roughly 90% or something like that. Guys, I unfortunately have to run. I have a dinner reservation. If you follow me on Instagram and you're in my Telegram channel, I might send you a video from this location. I have not been there for over 3 years. It's one of the nicest places that I've been in Bangkok, which is, it's not too expensive, but it looks crazy expensive, you know? So I give you an example. When I was there the last time, I spent for a Japanese Wagyu steak, $90, you know? So I know for some of you guys, $90 for a steak is crazy, but if you go to a good steakhouse, $90 is kind of normal. You know, I give you an example. In Dubai, you get steaks for $400, you know? So here in Bangkok, it's $90. I'm gonna show it to you. Trust me, guys, it's amazing. It's a one out of a kind place where I'm going, but the owners have changed, so decoration is a little bit different. I'm going there for the first time. With new owners, new kitchen. So let's see how that will be. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Don't forget, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you with more money tomorrow. Wow.